That's messed up. All right, welcome to Freedom Hawk Live, and we are back. And today we have Andrew in the house with us.
Hey guys,
welcome back, Andrew.
On? Thanks.
Yeah, you've been hiding out. Yeah, and we have Anna, as I was reminded last time. She likes to be called Anna, the Jolly Anna. No longer.
Okay.
no longer the Jolly Anna.
Yay.
But we have Anna in again with us.
What's there to be jolly about?
Gracing us with her presence.
Nothing.
Gracing us with her presence. And it's good to have Andrew back in the studio with us today. And this is our special eclipse watch, post-eclipse episode.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe. We're doing some new stuff with having three
make Dean happy. Please give him some viewership.
Viewers and subscriptions, and especially those like buttons make me really happy. It makes us all happy.
Like
I get really excited whenever I open our YouTube stats and I see like all the little thumbs ups. It's like, wow.
How many have we gotten to?
No, we've had quite a few, and thank you. Thank you.
It's like, what the hell are they doing?
Thank you for those of you who are dedicated.
Absolutely.
For some reason.
Thank you so much.
And we haven't gotten kicked off of YouTube yet.
Yeah.
No, not yet. I think we've behaved ourselves pretty well.
Give it a chance.
Give it a chance. So today,
if we're lucky,
apocalypse didn't happen. Why?
What's that about?
Do you want to start on this, Andrew? Since you've been away for so long, you want to tell us what was supposed to happen today?
Well, social media was going crazy. Saying that Christ was coming. It's the end of days, right? The beginning and end was being created by some Greek symbols over the path of where the eclipse was going to cross in the United States.
Wait, what do you mean Greek symbols? Like constellations or letters?
Alpha and Omega.
Okay, like beginning and end, the alphabet.
Yeah, so like there was an alpha symbol that was being created and an omega symbol.
Created by what?
The actual line of where it traced across the United States.
Of the eclipse.
So if you match the eclipse of 2017.
Okay, I was there for that one.
Yep. If you match that to this one in 2024.
They cross each other.
They cross each other in a certain place.
Near like Kentucky or something, or Missouri?
Yes.
I mean, if I recall correctly, the 17, that was sort of the path.
Well, that's the whole other thing because it goes through towns called Nineveh. And what was the other one? It was Nineveh.
I can't remember, but it was like the Nineveh was there were about seven.
Salem and Nineveh.
There were about
Salem,
seven
Massachusetts.
Ninevehs.
Other Salems in the United States.
There were about seven Ninevehs that it was going to cross over.
Seven Nineveh. Wait, first of all, there's 7 towns named with the same. And what's the significance of Nineveh?
Well, it's a holy town in biblical times.
Okay.
Back in.
But is it referenced in a certain place that I should know? Because I'm not familiar with.
So Nineveh was the place, if I understand correctly, it was an unholy land back in biblical days.
Okay.
And basically, God gave them a warning that if they don't straighten up and behave and become, Christians and do the right thing under God. Right.
This sounds like Sodom and Gomorrah stuff.
A little bit.
I think it might have been in that time.
A little bit.
I have to check.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's what it is if they didn't straighten up, he was going to destroy the town.
I'm actually a little disappointed in myself that I'm not familiar with it, but I believe you.
Know this with your
this. So okay, so 7 U.S. towns named Nineveh in the eclipse line,
yes.
and so
the other line that it goes through is Salem, which is short for Jerusalem.
Okay, so ultimately, nothing happened today.
Not that I know of.
Not
weird.
Does anybody know of anything that happened?
I haven't heard, but then again, I try to stay away from as much of the news as possible.
Well, people all the way back to ancient times were fascinated by solar eclipses.
Yeah.
And have either of you ever actually witnessed one firsthand, like a total full eclipse?
Just in Florida.
Okay, so
probably not.
I have not.
So
2017,
I went to North Carolina to witness the totality eclipse.
Right.
And what they don't tell you about it, when you're in the totality, the path of totality where the sun gets completely blocked, what they don't tell you about it is that like all of the animals think that it's nighttime. Okay. The birds start, like all the birds that normally chirp in the evening, they start chirping. The frogs, the crickets, all of the wildlife goes into almost like what they do in the evening time normally, right? It's like evening time behavior, but they freak out and they think that the sun's going down.
Well, they think nighttime's already there.
And then it gets very cool very fast. And I'm talking like 10 degrees, 15 degrees, estimating.
Right.
In a matter of seconds.
Yep.
Because it's only at 100% totality that this happens. 99%, this doesn't happen. It's only, yes, if you are not in 100% totality, you will not experience this phenomena because there's enough light. 1% of the sun's light is enough to light up.
Wow.
Well, yeah, because look how big the sun is. So it was interesting because I was talking to some neighbors where I was watching the eclipse today. And they're like, does it seem like it's getting darker here? I'm like, well, we only get like a 60% covering. Yeah. So 60% of the surface area of the sun being covered, it's not that big.
I didn't notice anything at all.
Right. I mean, we were outside all day cutting trees in my yard, and didn't notice.
No, nothing happened. I don't know of anything that happened over the total path.
What about globally? No weird incidences, no natural phenomena.
I mean, I guess we'll find out.
I haven't heard anything. I usually get some notices that something happened somewhere, but I haven't gotten anything.
Happened that I know.
Well, you know what was weird? There were several states. I believe Arkansas was one.
Are you talking about the warnings?
Was it?
Yes.
National Guard. Well, they said that because they were
states of emergency over the eclipse.
New York was
an influx of traffic and visitors,
and that makes sense.
That's what that was supposedly about.
Supposedly, but they said something about some event.
Oh. And
that was in New York.
An event.
An event. She didn't specify. She said that people should be prepared. I think it was a lady from the emergency management.
Okay.
Well, I mean, going a whole different direction with this, the spiritual direction. A lot of the community around the world is saying that this is the shift from 3D to 5D, and that's what the eclipse is.
What do you mean?
It's basically like the universe is taking us on to another path dimensionally. So we see more, we're experiencing more, that our third eye, the pineal gland, is opening to a different dimension. Like how you see through a tunnel with your eyes in the 3D.
But that's what the deep state has been trying to do, is blocking the pineal gland. And fluoride.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. The fluoride in the
switch
water.
hats. I need to hold on a second. I don't want my brain to fry, please. Please. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is
that NASA hat.
Even NASA needs to be.
We need to talk about that too.
So it's really interesting though because okay, so this goes back to
what is happening.
The pineal gland is your third eye that's supposed to connect.
And where is it located?
Inside your brain.
Like right here.
It's like back behind your frontal.
Oh, I thought it was like right here.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like I thought it was like inside and back.
Well, I thought it was your third eye, so I figured it's right here.
If any of you know where the pineal gland is, please draw a diagram and put it into the comments. Or just draw a funny diagram of the brain and label it however you want.
It's supposed to be our connection to the spiritual realm.
Is this like the chakras or the chakras?
It's all connected to the chakras, the different colored chakras throughout our body.
Exactly.
Aligned with our spine.
Interesting. This is a first. I didn't know that the government was blocking the pineal gland. That's a very interesting.
Just like it goes to the MK Ultra.
That connects to MK Ultra and everything.
Right.
Because that goes into all the pseudosciences and metaphysics that they were messing back with.
Leave the hat on?
Stuff. Yeah,
yes, keep it on because it's going to be a while.
It's going to get one.
I was not prepared for pineal gland today. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's how it all
continue. I'm listening. We're all listening.
We see everything with our eyes, so I mean.
But it's not an eye. It's a.
It's supposed to be an eye.
Like a metaphysical eye.
Yes.
Well, it's the eye that, like our brain. You know how they say like mind over matter.
Well,
that's where that comes from.
I thought that was just something people say, like toughen up or like
don't. It's our connection to the spiritual realm, to God.
What's our connection to the universe?
To the universe.
Yeah, it's where we.
To the universe.
Bro, have you ever watched Gaia? Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay. What am I missing?
We're going down a rabbit.
I was not prepared.
Now.
I'm just saying, it's like back in the days, all the alphabet soup, they targeted different. I mean, we're going off on way crazy tangents, but they used all this stuff and all these techniques.
I mean, I'm familiar with MK Ultra and mind control, and
that's part of
right. Well, a lot of that was also manipulated and enhanced by LSD,
exactly,
and drugs. But also that was supposed to affect the pineal gland as well.
And fluoride in the water is supposed to affect.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Well, and so is something that happened during a certain outbreak from a bat in China and all that.
Oh, in China?
We can't say it on YouTube. But all that stuff that happened, and then they gave us the
soup.
Yeah, the soup.
The bat soup fiasco.
Bat soup, but then there was this antidote, right?
Yeah.
That antidote is also supposed to.
Now they're talking in code. Just so we're all clear. Andrew's talking. Figured it.
It's not that difficult.
Figured it.
It rhymes with. Never mind.
Lovid.
No, I know. Uses his talking in codes to me, and I don't understands it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do. I get it. I follow you. Yeah. So wait. So you're saying that
the pineal gland.
The pineal gland was blocked by the bat soup solution.
Oh God. Yes. That's not the yes.
Okay.
Right. That's what they said.
Somebody at home that watches this is going to be so confused.
Exactly. But there's a reason why. There's a reason why there is.
Well, there's a reason why they're doing it all.
Well, yes, but also, I mean.
So is this why there's this new bill to fine families whose babies have not had the bat soup solution?
Well, that's probably just for more control.
Right.
Have you seen that? That was recent.
No,
that was just this last week.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
You were talking and you wanted to get a point across.
This is a free for all, so don't worry about it.
Go for it.
No, it's interesting because I think ever since these organizations were established and somehow they realized that this connection was possible. What is that? Do I need to raise the mic?
No, you look up there.
Oh.
Look at you.
Well,
I know it's weird, right?
I don't know, whatever.
We have this weird triangle of microphones and cameras talking to.
Pointed across.
No, I'm listening.
We're working on
No, you're fine. I'm listening.
We're working on the details.
So people thought that so there's this idea that the eclipse is a transition from this 3D understanding experience of the world to a 5D.
5D is more spiritual realm, a more spiritual consciousness.
The universe.
What happened to 4?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Okay, so it's there is no 4. It's just like straight 3 to 5.
That's all I know.
Yeah, don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, that's what I do. I ask the questions. You're telling the story.
Yeah,
so.
no, we can get more information, but it just seems like doing all the research and stuff for wherever we pull it from. It's interesting to see that this all started back in the late 40s.
Okay.
When all of these alphabet soup entities, agencies of the government unleashed and uncoded and decoded these things in humans.
Like genetically
basically we have been
uncoded.
We've done experiments. We have
been doing human experimentation since.
Are we talking like psychological operations, or are we talking genetic modification?
Physical, psychological.
Human experiments.
And you've heard of this too, Anna.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
No.
I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
This
is. Remember years ago when I started telling you about all this stuff, and you told me I was crazy.
You told me about.
He told me I was
pizza.
crazy.
You told me about pizza deliveries off the internet and that whole program,
right.
but that was a very different thing.
Portion.
That was just the beginning. That was just the tip of the iceberg, and that was just me starting to find out stuff.
Well, and we later found out that there was this whole Epstein thing that was tied into the pizzas being delivered.
And server hacking and leak and WikiLeaks and all that stuff.
Right.
So that was a whole
So pineal gland.
We're all over the
So
place.
how does the eclipse play into that? Like it's just a sign, like a symbol, or a
Basically, it's in the calendar of like the universe and astrology, and Bible.
But what about the eclipse last year?
Revelations. See, Revelations.
You know there was a total solar eclipse in Bogota, Colombia last year, right?
Right, but
no,
In August.
Well, yeah, but the difference is it didn't go through the Nineveh towns. It didn't cross and didn't make the X of the Alpha and Omega.
it was
There's too many symbols that connect back to biblical scriptures and things.
right. And everybody's trying to, even though the Bible says that no one will know when the time or day, we still, because we are so egotistical as man,
Figure it all out.
we have to figure it all out. And that was, everything was connecting to that solar eclipse as being the day of reckoning, the day of,
Will you forgive me for a segue
Tribulation.
that might have a tie-in?
go for it.
Because
Yeah.
so some of this is kind of reminding me of the red heifer prophecy stuff and
That's what
Zionists.
that all had to do with it, because
But-
the red heifers, they were being shipped from Texas to Israel.
And they
to-
did
Yes. And so
and they did they sacrifice
I
them?
think
so are Zionists like, is this a self-fulfilling
That's what
thing
I
where
was
they're
thinking
like,
too.
are they trying, are they
They're trying to scare
imitating,
everybody.
That's what I was trying. That's what I was thinking.
well, not
that
trying to scare, but are they imitating what they believe is supposed to
a
happen
self-fulfilling prophecy type of thing.
to bring about the prophecy they believe is
Right,
supposed to
that's what-
occur?
I mean, that's
That's-
usually where religion goes.
That's where I was.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
is it
what I was thinking.
is this prophecy fulfilled, or is this
Because it's interesting.
imitation?
I was talking to someone.
Obviously, it wasn't fulfilled because
We're all still here,
Yeah,
so-
we're still here.
So here, so
Unless
So here's
and I don't know where the pineal gland is, but I'm not feeling any different than I did like 6 hours ago. So
well,
that's
that's a whole nother thing.
okay.
right.
But so it's
Mine must
interesting
still be blocked.
because I was talking to somebody about it who's in the spiritual community, and they were saying it's like, well, no, it's not going to be the end of days, but it's going to be the end of the way you think and do things, and the way the world experiences you, and the way you experience the world. Those are going to be the kind of changes that happen, like astrologically and into that 5D.
So this is transformative for all of us on an individual level, not
Right.
collectively.
Yes.
Well,
That's how-
If we're
I think
open
it's
to it.
both. I think it's both.
Well, yeah.
I think it's both individually and collectively.
Well, yeah, because in theory we're all connected.
Correct.
What about NPCs? Like people that are just
You mean the people behind the Publix counter at the deli?
well, I
You have two
mean,
words to say and try to have a conversation with them.
yeah, I mean the people that you encounter every day that don't have extended dialogue beyond hi, hello.
Yeah, that's a whole nother time. What do you think about those? Because that could connect to this. Because did we know what an NPC was 5 years ago?
I did, but I spend way too much time on.
But that's because of video games.
Yeah.
Well,
That's where the term
I don't
comes
know
from.
what an NPC is.
Non-player character.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically, you're the main character of your own story, and everybody else is a non-player character because they're
But-
not you. But some non-player characters have more dialogue because we live in a simulation. So the
Okay,
NPCs,
the Matrix.
the
So,
NPCs
yeah.
are the people you
So-
encounter for a brief moment at a brief specific time, and they're the people that you never see again.
Or
Okay.
Or the,
Okay,
they're
the guy that yells at you in traffic, or the person that
But-
the lady that you walk past in the park that you never speak to, those are
or you're
NPCs
trying to
from your
talk to somebody,
perspective.
or you're like interacting with somebody in a store or something, right? And you have the most awkward interaction with them, and you're like, "Is this really happening?" No, you know what I'm talking
The
about.
person who's like the
Like,
person whose
you're just
brain
like-
glitches out, and
Yeah,
it's
you're-
almost like that you can visibly watch their mind reset in real time.
Yes.
Like those are NPCs. But the thing
Or
about the
ask them
NPC,
something
it's
and
very
then-
much tied to simulation theory.
Well, yeah, but that's
So the idea of NPCs is if we live in a simulation, then there are some people walking around that have no inner monologue that
he's wearing the tinfoil hat.
Yeah, he really is.
you started it.
So,
I'm just explaining it.
Okay.
I'm not subscribing. I'm only explaining.
oh, no.
Okay.
So you've never had these experiences,
Oh, we've all had those
right?
experiences.
And did they make you feel weird? weren't you like, something is not right in my gut about this interaction? Like, this person, like, where did they come from? Who are they?
Well, what about this one? When you're talking and it's almost like you're having an out of body experience where you're listening to yourself talk.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, why am I saying this stuff? Because
do you remember the black cat in the Matrix? I think it was a black cat.
I know.
Yeah, black cat.
So a glitch in the Matrix is how they explain deja vu.
Right.
In the movie Matrix.
I can't remember
So,
all of it.
It's when the Matrix starts to reveal it.
Yeah, whenever the Matrix has a glitch, whenever they change something about the code, whenever the AI, the robots, the overlords, when they change the simulation, it causes a deja vu event.
Right.
To the from the perspective of the people inside the simulation.
Right.
Yeah.
They witness deja vu.
Okay.
And it's just a fictional thing from the movie.
Is it fictional?
Yeah. Maybe.
They show us.
They show us. They're showing us.
Oh god. They really do.
I still have the tinfoil hat on.
Yeah. No.
How appropriate.
Just like in the movie, the Kingsman
We are going to
Secret
title this podcast Smorgasbord.
This was experimental today. I'm not responsible for anything that comes out of anyone else's mouth.
Got a disclaimer.
He's never responsible for anything that comes out of my mouth, that's for sure.
I take zero.
I take full credit for what I'm saying.
We are not responsible for any paranoia that you might feel after. So at any rate, simulation theory, that's the idea. NPCs have no inner monologue. Like when you're walking around throughout your day, do you hear yourself narrating what you do?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
You don't?
Is that weird?
I hear my voice. I
hear my voice. He's an NPC.
Yeah.
No,
he's an NPC.
Well, I used to go through. I don't narrate my life.
There's no Andrew in your head that's like, I need to take out the trash. I need to go to the bathroom.
Like the voice inside your head?
Inner monologue.
Yes.
The
voice inside
it's
your
monologue
in your head.
Oh, yeah, no, I have.
Side
I
mind.
think before I do something, if that's what you mean.
But are there words? Or is it just like, I don't know, pictures. Or Crayola drawings? What does your mind look like on the inside? I know you're like...
Coloring books.
Yeah, it's words.
It's words, okay. I mean, that's inner monologue.
There's a cognition there, believe it or not.
Yeah, so that's inner monologue, or like.
There's something.
Well, there's some people that don't experience that.
I can't.
Really?
Are you
yes,
serious?
there are some people that don't experience that.
I can't imagine that. How is that possible?
How do you control your?
I don't know how they do it.
How do you know this is? Do you know people like this?
There are people like this, yes.
Have you met people?
Have you met them?
We've all met people like this.
But have you talked to them about
We've
this?
all met people like this.
But have you talked to them about this?
What is
How do you bring up this conversation?
Look, there are people that don't narrate. They don't have inner monologue. Like they don't hear themselves in their mind.
So how do they go through life?
Thinking.
I
don't know. I think they just see pictures, like just visual response, like drink. You know, I don't know. I feel hungry and I eat.
Without giving away too much personal information. Do I know any of these people that you know?
What segment of the population? Like what percentage?
Yeah, who is this?
I think the percentage of the population, it would be startling to you.
No way.
He's making this up.
I think you're.
No, I'm dead serious.
Where?
If you don't have an inner monologue, please tell us and explain to us how your mind works.
This to me.
We're not judging. It does. I don't think it makes you dumb. You just think differently than the rest of us.
We're just trying to comprehend.
But honestly, there are.
If
you don't hear words in your head, like describing your daily activities as you're doing them and saying, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to get dressed. It's time to go." Like.
You don't just go to the bathroom. You have
some people, I think some people just like feel a feeling and they're like,
I have
that feeling, bathroom,
conversations with myself in my head.
And I'm telling you, please, if you're watching, tell us in the comments if this is you.
I don't
there
think
are people that don't
say this because then
there might be. You might find
NPCs.
I'm sorry. Okay, fair point. Fair point. The NPCs won't respond.
Call them out.
Everybody's gonna be in the comments now because I said the NPCs won't respond. Like, I am not an NPC. Listen, I feel pictures, okay?
Supermarket and attack on a shopping cart.
I see sound and I smell color. All right, like I am not an NPC. I respond to my empirical inputs.
Okay.
All right. Oh, but I mean, it is relevant to this whole eclipse like thing with penial glands over there laughing at me in the peanut gallery. Look.
The penial gallery.
Penial gallery. Look. But all this prophecy stuff, you look at like you said, the red heifers, the cows being shipped to Israel just so that they can have red cows to sacrifice for the.
Well, yeah, and that's.
Do they still practice
I mean,
animal sacrifice over there?
With all respect to them, that's just their.
I'm not judging. I just didn't know that was really a thing
it's
still.
Religion, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, do they eat them after they sacrifice them?
No, because there's been sacrifices like that have been done here in Florida.
I didn't know that.
That seems like a waste of premium meat.
Well,
I'm
no,
just saying.
Because they're part of that religion here and that community, and they do it.
Are we allowed to go claim that beef, and can we fill our freezers with the sacrificed beef?
No, I apologize on behalf of you. No.
It just sounds like.
Well, no, it's that community.
I understand that. I have questions that these are things that I never really had the opportunity to ask anybody, I guess. Like,
no, because
that's what I'm saying. Like,
because you grew up as you kill it, you eat it.
Yes.
You bring the energy back to the.
We raised cows growing up. It was like
life.
Yeah.
I get it.
You have time, energy, and resources into raising that cow for food.
It's
not
respect.
From the farming perspective, and then from the respect of life perspective, you don't kill it just to kill it.
Right.
You know?
But this is a different.
That's
belief.
not hunting. That's killing.
No, but they're not. They look at it
differently.
I don't know the exact,
that's not farming. That's killing.
Anybody.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Understand.
It's religious is different. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Just leave it at they have their.
It's an honest question. I always wanted to know is do they eat the meat when they sacrifice it?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
Oh.
I don't think they do.
No.
Interesting.
But
no, I think they do something with the blood, but I don't.
If someone could let us know, that would be great. If you could post in a comment.
I've legitimately always wondered that because you think like ancient societies and how many people had to be engaged in food production. Okay. It's a tremendous loss of work and resources.
Oh yeah, it is. But,
you know what I mean?
They also,
which is I know is way off the pineal gland.
But it has nothing to do with difficulty of life or anything like that. It's a sacrifice. So
for thousands of years, ancient people have looked to the stars and they've looked to the eclipse and been fascinated by it.
That was another thing. I think the solar eclipse had something to do with the stargates. The stargates.
With like the portals?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was another belief.
Your hat on.
Yeah. Go get it.
I can't.
Go get it. You got your NASA hat on. Come on.
My NASA hat. Listen.
Yeah.
Might as well.
So.
We choose to go to the moon.
We
choose to go to the moon and do the other things too. Not because they are easy.
Yeah, let's go to the moon, Alice.
But because they are hard.
Is this audio any good?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's
loud.
No, it's fine. Look, our
all right, we're still going.
As far as I know,
the camera's having throws.
We're gonna know when we play it back, right?
Put my hands in my
Look.
No, so but the moon stuff, interesting.
Okay.
All right.
We're switching gears.
You switched. That was a hard transition there.
Transition. Well, you said
I'm reeling. I'm reeling. No, yeah. I mean, well, the Aztec. Speaking of sacrifice, the Aztec. They sacrificed human hearts
and virgins.
Well, anybody. They but they loved human sacrifice on the eclipse. It was like, the sun's disappearing. The sun died. We got to kill a bunch of people to bring it back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy. You ever see Apocalypto?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
That was insane.
that was terrifying.
I didn't see that
It was
movie.
terrifying. Not as terrifying as
And a Days Aspect Tale kind of thing.
not as terrifying as you know, what may or may not have happened on the moon, but
Okay, so
actually it was way more terrifying, but still I know you want to talk about this moon thing.
well, no, it's just
I queued up the moon
question.
conversation, and
I want to raise my hand.
what happened?
Who was actually outside the moon, the lunar whatever ship, taking
lunar ship.
pictures or taking video?
They had a
them?
great camera crew, didn't they?
Did they
we're
not?
talking about who actually documented outside.
Yes, who was out there taking the video?
So when he
and
steps
pictures?
out,
Exactly. When
who
he
took the
steps
video
out?
of him
Who
stepping
took
out?
the
So
video of
who
him?
set the camera first for him to take the picture?
That's just the beginning,
Yeah.
because I have other ones. How did the lunar, whatever they call it,
Lunar excursion model.
thank you, whatever. How did it stay on the moon when there's no gravity? How did it land?
There's gravity, it's just very little.
There's
lots of gravity.
A certain percentage.
As a matter of fact, I'm more
Right, but
concerned with how did it take off.
How did they keep it? How did they keep it on the moon without it floating away?
Oh, there's gravity on the moon. The gravity is what causes our tides, our ocean
Whoa.
tides here on Earth.
My
It's the
understanding
moon's-
is it's because the moon has an orbit and it rotates. That creates gravity. It creates a gravitational field.
A little bit.
Gravity is just the force between matter that wants, the matter wants to attract to itself.
He's gonna start talking science to
Oh,
me. That's
oh.
not a good thing.
That's not a good thing.
Just,
Oh, no.
no.
Well,
You're
just-
so cute. No, don't even go there.
Don't even go there.
No, my brain's already
Your
somewhere
brain's
else.
already somewhere else. It's on the
I mean,
pineal gland
no,
and,
but-
and 5D
Oh gosh.
chakras. What colors chakra are you on today?
Blue.
Blue. Huh? I don't know what that means, but it
I don't
sounded
either.
like the right
It's-
question.
So back to where are we going with this moon?
You wanted to, you were making fun of my NASA hat.
You were gonna make a point.
Oh no! So it's interesting because there's been all these conspiracy theories all over the years. There's been Capricorn 1. There's been the stuff about.
Okay. Was that a movie or
That
a
was a movie.
documentary?
Yes, it was.
You were
There's all this stuff,
not even born.
I never saw that
about
one.
Stanley Kubrick, right? In
Yes.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
How many hours of film was it? Like 2,000
I don't know, it was
hours
like 2,000 hours of film. There were
for a
real-
2-hour movie or a 3-hour movie?
Well, yeah. Apparently, so there's this theory that.
They were just being really selective about every shot. They wanted to get lots of angles, lots of takes.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, I remember what we were talking about.
What do you mean? Oh, go ahead. Then.
The angles. We were talking about angles and
Right. So they were talking about how the theory is, I'm not going to say conspiracy theory, I'm going to say theory because
The idea, okay.
the idea, whatever, that Hollywood helped the government
Produce
the moon landing.
the TV show Moon Landing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like moon landing on.
But that's what it was. It was a made for TV event,
Right.
right? Okay.
Well, yeah, on a soundstage with, lighting. And
I'm gonna get
cameras.
so many hate texts for this in this
I
movie.
don't know where you're going with this, but so anyways, it's interesting because there's a
Oh, I
lot
know
of
where you're
different variables. We won't go into too many details, but there's
Okay.
a lot of different variables that people question on the physics of lighting and shadows and composition and technicality things with the cameras and the lenses that make it questionable.
And Andrew, by the way, is a lighting expert.
Careful.
This is his. He knows. This is his field of expertise is lighting.
Yes.
So please continue.
Yeah, so it's interesting that if the sun's at one angle and they take a photo and it's supposedly where the sun is supposed to be, but in the photo the simulated sun's angle from whatever light they're using in the studio is creating another shadow that's stronger than the shadow is supposed to be from the sun. Well, there's only supposed to be one light source because
Correct.
it would be the sun.
right.
What about the Earth as a bounce
Well, not the Earth.
or a light source?
No.
the moon?
No, they're on the moon.
They're on the moon.
They're on the moon.
So what I'm saying is like the Earth is so
The
big
moon isn't lit up.
that the sun hits it and bounces, and they got 2 light sources now.
I mean, so that's where it's. I mean, I don't know because I've never been.
I haven't
in
either.
Space.
Has anyone?
I've only experienced lighting and photons.
Okay.
And light, how it reacts here on planet Earth with an atmosphere and gravity and vapors and humidity and stuff, because all those things are particles.
I mean, we know that at night during a full moon, there's enough light. You can go out, you can walk around outside, and it's not. You wouldn't want to live that way, but it's enough that you could walk around if you had to.
It's the light reflecting off the sun.
So if you were on the moon, would you get enough light reflection from the Earth?
Probably not, because it's mostly water.
Okay. And the reflective property of the lunar dust.
Well, I'm just speculating here, but I'm
different.
assuming it's the material, the sand, the surface of the dirt, the moon dirt. But I don't know.
But what about those moon rocks that Buzz Aldrin brought back?
The samples that have been
The
shared
rocks.
around. Well, they gave the sample moon rocks to different countries.
Oh.
They were countries around the world.
I mean, really?
Well,
so you're saying,
if you believe they're samples of moon rock,
so you're
they
saying
could just be basalt.
They didn't come from the Nevada desert?
Oh, well.
I didn't say they came from anywhere. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the backgrounds on the photos from the different Apollo missions.
Well, the train looks very similar to stuff.
Yeah, the Apollo missions didn't land at the same site, but they have the same hills in the backgrounds.
Interesting.
And that doesn't make sense to me.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So if you compare photos from the various, that's
together,
what doesn't make sense to me.
It all together.
And as the years progress in our lives, you start to realize how unscrupulous certain
Agencies,
certain actors,
state actors,
institutions,
alphabet soup,
certain institutions are
to do whatever it takes to get wherever they want to go with whatever their objective is.
Yeah.
It's possible. And it's interesting because Apple TV released a trailer for a show called Fly Me to the Moon, which is a major motion picture, or it's a TV show. I think it's a movie. I saw the trailer today.
Okay.
And it is basically that story.
What story?
Where they produced in Hollywood us going to the moon as a backup plan in case the moon landing
And Netflix is putting this out?
Apple TV.
In case the moon landing fails?
So in case it failed, in case they didn't make it there.
So what really happened?
So they ensured that they would make it.
So
they had a backup plan.
So to the baby boomer generation that watched the live broadcast of the moon landing, which was only audio, by the way. They saw a picture going across the screen with audio, and even NASA has said that's what we did. We didn't have a second vessel with a camera following.
They didn't have
right.
So the original broadcast was an image superimposed on an image of a fake lunar surface to kind of tell the story of what was happening as the audio was coming in from the
but
crew.
People believe.
So the question is, what did we really get? Did we get a moon landing, or did we get the backup plan?
I don't know.
Which one did we really get?
And again, I haven't seen the movie because it hasn't come out yet. It comes out in July.
Right.
But the trailer's pretty revealing to say that there was an organization involved that wanted to ensure that Kennedy's plan to go to the moon was met. It was for political reasons.
So what is more concerning, this movie or the Obama movie that came out over Christmas?
Oh, well, we've already seen what happens with the moon landing.
You guys know...
Oh, yeah, no, the Obama movie is far worse.
Yeah, I mean, the Obama movie's future...
They're telling us what they're planning on doing.
I mean...
And it's very realistic and very...
somehow they've already executed part 1.
So for the folks at home, the Obama movie is something to the effect of like the end of the world. I was watching it in Spanish with my girlfriend. So
it's called Leave the
World Behind. That's right. The Spanish translation is similar.
It's very
it's
two-dimensional, very cartoonish, and very just poorly made. Yeah. But it's the message behind it. I
know. There were definitely some moments that were like, is this supposed to be funny or terrifying?
But the thing is that the whole time, but the whole time that eerie music it's constant. The eerie music is from beginning to end throughout it's horrible. But the whole premise, the message behind the movie is what's scary.
Yeah.
And it's basically them telling us what they're going to do. Well, and you can see it happening.
What was really surprising to me was after I watched the movie, I didn't know anything about it, and we were watching it over Christmas, and then afterward at the end it said produced by Barack Obama.
Right.
Barack and Michelle Obama. And I was like, oh my God, that is...
Well, it's interesting, like,
they have
former president is producing a movie about the end of the United States and the end of the world. And
how they're going to do it.
Well, and then I looked into it, and he was apparently not just a financial, production...
it was an executive producer. Yeah,
he wasn't just financially producing the movie, but he was intellectually producing the movie in terms of producing feedback from his experience in office, which is terrifying to think about.
And very involved.
And if you look at some of the events in that movie and look at the last 3 months, you had all the Boeing airline safety issues.
Right.
You had the ship in Baltimore, and actually there have been a couple shipping incidents.
There was another one, wasn't there? Where was the other one? There was one was it New York? Was it?
Well, there have been dozens of them attacked.
There was one.
Turkey.
There have been several of them attacked in the Red Sea by the Houthis.
Yeah.
So there have been several incidences with ships, including the Baltimore one recently, which took out the bridge. And then you had the Tesla incident in Texas. Do you want to talk about that, or who wants to?
Is that Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law?
Does anybody find it weird that Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law was driving her Tesla and she actually got it confused or was inebriated or something, and she put it in reverse and drove into a lake or a pond?
Well, she went first over a structure.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like
she
launched the vehicle?
She hit a structure or went through a structure and then
like a parapet wall or something
into a pond. And now I last I heard was that it was being investigated as a murder.
It must have been a pretty deep pond.
Yes, but
for her to drown in it,
it was.
You see what I'm saying? Like
the whole thing is very.
It was
mysterious.
either a deep pond or she.
It was very mysterious.
So you have to wonder if she was alive when it went in the pond.
Well, I mean,
who knows?
So I was having this conversation with somebody the other day about like cars encryption and encoding and getting the right key.
But they're all computers.
Well, now, right, but like supposedly the security has to be pretty tight, right? It's like 256-bit.
I mean, we hope so.
To be able to handshake with a vehicle to communicate with it.
Okay.
But the thing is nowadays with AI and hacking tools, the right motivated actors, especially state actors that have the right types of funding behind them, they can get into anything. So because the technologies existed where back in 2013 we were hacking into cars, right? Like there's been hackers that have done it on the evening news where they hacked into like a Nissan Sentra, unlocked the doors and drove the car.
What about, so the lady we're talking about, by the way, was Angela Chow, right?
Yeah.
So she was also.
Here we go.
Here's the other tie-in: is she's the CEO of a major shipping company.
Right.
Now they're saying that it's not related to the Baltimore accident. That they're different companies.
Is it?
There's
speculation.
There's some people saying that maybe some documents were shifted around and ownership might have.
Like 12 hours after the accident, certain internet records changed. Who were the owners of that ship and who were the CEO and all that stuff.
It's it's a weird coincidence that the Senate majority leaders sister-in-law
Yep.
is the CEO of a major shipping company, dies mysteriously in a car accident on their own property.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
Tesla.
in a Tesla.
It has safety features.
And then all of a sudden we have this major shipping incident.
Yep.
It is.
It sounds like the beginning of a bad movie.
We are living in such a bizarre world. If this is just coincidence, I don't understand the world anymore. Like this is just
Well, you get the pineal gland going.
The pineal gland. That's what I'm missing. I need to find the pineal gland and
do some meditation.
Yeah.
And it's going back to simulation theory. Under that premise, it makes sense.
Right.
That's the only way that it's, like this stuff is too bizarre and coordinated to be
what they
like.
Well, what they mean by the simulation.
It's not correlation. It's not causation. It's not correlation. So what is it?
Well, no, they're definitely connected. I mean, and we'll see that.
Well, I mean. We'll see what the future holds, but this is...
Okay, and hold on. Go back a couple weeks. I think it was, February 12th or 21st? Remember the AT&T network that went down?
Yes. And that was also from the movie, the Obama movie. Yes. That was the first thing that happened that freaked everybody out was that the cell phones went down.
Right.
And then the man with the young girl, they end up coming to their rental house and the other families staying there. And that's what kind of kicks off the whole movie.
We're not exactly playing it out as dramatic.
No, well, in the movie takes place over like
a short period of time,
but over like 3 days.
But
like a couple days.
This is being drawn out so that it's not as.
But the events are there.
The events are definitely there, but it's more. People are more numb to it when it happens slowly.
Sure.
It's not happening as quickly as it was in the movie because people need to kind of. They have to be.
If you have not seen Leave the World Behind, as much as I don't want to support, as I don't want to promote Netflix, and I don't want to promote Netflix, and I don't want to promote, certainly don't want to promote the Kenyon and Big Mike, but you should watch this movie to find out what's going to happen next before it happens. And I mean that because it's so weird. There's too much coincidence here. If deer start showing up in my backyard, I'm going to panic. Okay? If creepy.
There was a...
What?
Why was that?
Was it the frequency?
It was something was causing the deer to... Yeah, it was drawing them there.
They were using directed energy.
Right.
Those don't exist.
Really?
Those don't exist.
We need to cram more into this episode.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, you guys! Oh, we got time. You want to spend 12 minutes talking? We got time. You want to spend 12 minutes talking about direct energy weapons, or do we want to finish talking about Leave the World Behind?
No, I think we should.
Okay, look, I don't want to promote Netflix or the Kenyon or Big Mike, but if you do have a subscription, you may as well watch it because you're paying for it.
But here's the thing.
But you will really think about some of the very recent events in the last 90 days, and you're gonna go. This is scary. Okay.
So another thing to think about is the power grid.
And direct energy weapons?
Absolutely.
No,
the power grid.
Oh.
Our infrastructure and our power grids.
Use that to disrupt it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They can shut it all off.
But the thing is that might, I don't know, because
that will cause chaos.
They're kind of they're using their playbook from this movie, which is weird.
But I sent you that white paper presentation on the microwave direct energy weapons.
Yeah, that's
and the actual applications of them for anti-air missile defense.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, this is not.
Here. It's not science fiction.
This isn't science fiction anymore. I mean, this is stuff that you can look up
real.
on. I mean, the U.S. Navy has it. And I'm sure the other services have some version of it.
Yeah, I mean, ONI and all the DARPA and all the stuff. Yeah. I mean, they all have. Working on this?
But how far do the capabilities of it go?
Well, I think that remains hopefully to not be known.
Well, last year, we were watching a lot of stuff on LiDAR surveys and LiDAR mapping of mostly America, but also like Europe and Australia and certain other places. And what I didn't realize at the time is that LiDAR mapping can see the remnants of past earthquakes.
Yeah.
And they can see it in the soil, the soil
because it penetrates down.
shift. Yeah, they can see where the soil layers have shifted and moved during earthquake events. And it's kind of on the lines of those direct energy weapons and HARP and DARPA. Like, we know that weather modification, at least the attempts to do it, there are people, there are companies and institutions.
Look, didn't
GOV government institutions that are actively trying to do it.
Well, doesn't the whole chemtrail thing actually exist? Because didn't try to pass a bill about that or something?
Yes, there was a state
trying not to have the atmosphere altered.
I think it was Iowa. Was it Iowa?
I thought it was like Tennessee or Kentucky.
Maybe it was Tennessee.
I thought it was like
maybe it was Tennessee. I believe it was Tennessee. It was...
Well, so there's a couple versions of it. One, they spray, for lack of a better term, like glitter, dust.
Metal.
They spray like metallic dust into the air.
That's what
to alter
block the sun.
to block and alter the.
That was the Mr. Gates situation.
Okay,
Yes.
So here's another one. What if they did the same thing with the ocean to warm the oceans? It floats. It stays there forever. It's probably a lot more.
Put your hat on.
Is this something I'm saying or something you're saying?
No, it's because what you're saying.
What, you don't think it's...
Oh, I believe it's real.
Google Weather Modification Inc. It exists. It's a company.
Oh yeah.
I think they have a Weather Modification Texas LLC or something. I don't remember the exact name of it, but you can Google it. It exists. It's an actual company. Right. But direct energy weapons, not denied.
No. Yeah.
Okay, there's plenty of information out there about the attempts about those.
Yeah.
And weather modification companies exist.
Yep.
And you can look it up yourself. But what was interesting to me was all that LiDAR mapping that we were watching last year. And we're like, why does this keep going on? Thousands of LiDAR mapping flights all over the country. I had actually one flying over my house last week. And I was outside. This is actually a true story. Last week I was outside. I was playing trees.
Did you see the green laser?
I didn't see the green laser, but I saw the plane with the LiDAR mapping.
It was daytime.
I saw the plane with the LiDAR mapping array on the sides of the plane, and it flew over my house 8 times.
Was it NOAA?
In a span of 20 or 30 minutes.
Was it a NOAA tagged plane or?
I didn't see it, but it was very close. It was low altitude, right over the treetops. Yep. It was very, very, very low to the ground. They found me. They got me. I'm growing my own fruit in the backyard. They got me, and I'm gonna get more chickens. Dang it, no.
Get more lettuce, okay?
You know what? They're saying they want the chicken farmers to register their individual chickens.
Right.
Oh yeah.
They don't want us growing food. They do not want us producing our own food.
What about that avian flu that they had to all those 500,000? Just one chicken rancher.
Attack our food supply.
Had to destroy over 500,000 chickens.
Well, I've had a lot of people come up to me and ask me what I think about the fires at the chicken farms.
Right.
Yes.
My guess, if you have bird flu, that's what they did in China was they burn all the chickens.
Right.
It's
and
pretty.
Now we have.
It's gruesome, but that's how they handled it to get rid of the bird flu in China was they piled all the. I remember watching that years ago. Remember, it's like 20 years ago. They had these videos.
Speaking of the bird flu, it's already here.
Right.
Well, it is,
and gotten here early.
Yeah, I figure.
Oh, all of a sudden.
It must be an election year, Annie.
Flu is back.
Anna, it must be an election year.
It must be.
It must be.
Yeah, I mean, and it's wiping out flocks of birds like crazy.
Right.
I'll tell you, every time I go to the local feed store and talk to some of the farmers and stuff up there, they can't get enough birds to replace their birds that are dying.
Right.
And this was something I always kind of thought of bird flu that's an international. That's an like a Southeast Asia, China thing.
Oh yeah.
No,
Always starts there.
Yeah, it's here, and it's wiping out the chicken farms in the United States, and we already had a shortage of chickens.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because we had to kill them all because.
Yeah. When are we going to start to feel that in our?
It's already
there. It's already there.
We're already feeling the eggs.
I went to the grocery store. Last night, and I got coffee creamer, like some cereal, some milk, I got a few vegetables from the produce section because I always like to get like fresh vegetables from the produce section and stuff. So I got some avocados, peaches, plums, stuff like that. But I walked out with basically 2 sacks of groceries. $122.
Yeah, easy.
I was shocked. As a single person who doesn't do a lot of grocery shopping. No meat.
No meat. Not even
that was
meat.
Cereal, milk, coffee cream,
staples.
With a few vegetables to kind of snack on.
Yeah.
And that was all I bought.
Wow.
That was all I bought.
Easy.
And I was like, how is this $120 of groceries?
Right.
And as a single guy that like lives alone, doesn't go shopping very often.
Yeah.
And I go out and eat, but I try to go to relatively inexpensive places. But I go out and eat most of the time, and buying groceries for the first time in weeks, probably. Okay,
Right.
Just how I live. And I was like, oh my God, how does somebody afford $120 and they didn't even get meat? They didn't even. I mean, I really didn't even get enough food to cook a meal.
Oh, that's great.
That's why people are having to work 2 and 3 jobs, and now these jobs that are being created are being given to the illegals.
Oh yeah.
And aside from
going off to another tangent.
Well, this was this was an experiment tonight with the 3 of us just winging it, throwing it, sitting down. We just wanted to see how it go.
How do you guys think it works?
It's been fun. Yeah. We really tell us what you think of this format of us just kind of. It is disorganized, but we're just having fun. We had a lot of things on our mind. We just want to hang out.
Disorganized. Have you heard half the stuff that's on there?
Yeah, well, that's true.
There's just so much. There's so much information.
I should give us more credit.
Stuff going on, yeah.
I know.
I mean, we could have talked about Fannie Willis.
I know.
We could have talked about her. Oh, I would love to talk about her.
Gosh, it's
She's about to get disqualified.
Yeah, I mean that was an eye opener. That's all I'm gonna say. It wasn't. I don't buy a lot of processed food, a lot of packaged like single serving things, like single bags of chips. I don't even buy bags of chips, typically unless I have like people coming over, But yeah, like I didn't even buy enough food to make an actual meal.
I know, just
and I'm shocked. So we'll leave everybody with that. I mean, is there anything you guys want to add? Anything that we?
No, I mean, thanks for hanging on the ride.
Yeah,
it was a doozy.
Let us know what you guys are struggling with.
Yeah,
and what you'd like to.
Let us know what you think about all this stuff going on with the different sorts of attacks, I guess you could call them.
You're talking about the Black Swan events?
Yeah, Black Swan events.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for watching. We really appreciate the encouragement and support.
Yeah.
Please give the video a thumbs up. That's the best way to let the search engine know that we actually that you watched the video. If you did,
you put up with it.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And subscribe for future videos. But hitting that like button is a big deal. We really appreciate just that second it takes to do that means everything to us. It makes all the difference. And we will be back with more content in the future. And if there's something you'd like to hear us talk about or cover, then share that in the comments and we will add it to our next video. So thank you for watching and have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Good night.